Okay. Before we, excuse me, before we start, everybody with a phone, please turn it off completely. Otherwise, our equipment. Do you hear me? Thank you.
No, thanks. I appreciate the offer. Yeah, I didn't get that little. Oh no. It's a good thing I was about to get with start.
Well, wait a minute. Well, I know she can change it.
Okay, so we're gonna do that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'll still give that to Jeff.
Okay.
You guys have to try that new restaurant, that dish was that, it's really good.
What is it?
Your dish was, it's called, it's Japanese.
Dish was?
Dim sum, it's a dim sum place.
Really?
Yeah, very good.
The guy that came before us and yelling, yeah. I wrote that up. He's been good. He's in motion. This is gonna go on all the buildings.
You guys can make sure.
Probably. Can't imagine not. But, you know, if it's going to, everybody. No, we don't with people. I said, keep it. Absolutely. Let the board know. Anyway, that's. I don't know, we'll wait for,
This is for us to edit.
Oh, is it?
if you want to, yeah.
Yes.
Years ago, my late husband had a very important letter who did editing and writing and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, any changes you think, please do just.
Oh.
And he sent it back with all the shorthand on editing.
Oh, the short.
And I looked at it completely confused. He said, well, you asked me to edit it. I'm like, I just don't understand
Not
the
shorthand.
scribbles. Oh, that.
Yeah, she members on here. They
We're on the air. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the VillageFest Board meeting. My name is Dottie Watson. I'm the chair. So I move to open our meeting on November 12th, 2019 at 3:30 p.m. Roadkill.
Chair Watson,
Here.
Vice Chair Campbell,
Here.
Board Member Celia Garton. Here. Board Member Flick,
Here.
Board Member Gonella is currently absent, Board Member Montanti.
Here.
Board Member Baum is currently absent, and Main Street Meredith is currently absent. We have a quorum.
Okay, the first thing is the public comments. That means anybody in the audience. We'll have 3 minutes if you want to come up and talk about anything good or bad about Village Fest or the board. Anybody? No, good, very good. Okay, board comments, 5 minutes. And I just have one thing to say. I want to thank staff, and I want to thank all the people on the board that went down. Are you guys listening to me? Halloween.
It was so much fun.
You all did such a good job. Staff, again, it was such a big thing, and,
So many
yeah,
kids.
I know.
I can't believe how many kids.
They all did such,
Adorable.
Adorable
yeah,
kids.
you all did such a good job. Thank you
Yeah, you
again.
both worked your
Yeah,
feathers
There.
off.
It was fun.
Thank
Yeah.
you, you guys. It was a huge help having you there, and Daniel got to help with handing out all the bags and the awards, so I think that was a little fun for him.
Chasing
I'm like, I'm taking you with me, Daniel.
Get their prize.
Yes, yes. He was really good at spotting them out, so
Oh,
it
good.
worked out great, yeah.
anybody else have any comments? No. Correspondence, none? Okay, the next is consent calendar. The following routine matters may be acted upon by one motion. Individual items may be removed from the consent calendar by the members of the Village Fest Board for separate discussion and/or vote. Do I have a motion to accept both?
I move we accept the consent calendar.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, opposed, none. All right, the next thing is when all of the people that want to be on our street are coming up to us, legislative action. Before I start, I just want to remind board members that give them their 5 minutes to tell them their story, and then we can ask them questions. It makes it go. Okay, first one, arts and crafts. Is it you?
Yutori?
See, I knew I was going to ask that name up.
You'll be next.
Doja, it's Doja you. I'm sorry, Doja. I'll give you a minute just to put your things out, and then you can tell us about yourself. How's that? Good, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're approved for just your new stuff. Right, so you don't need to show the bandanas, you already showed the bandanas, you just need your new items to show.
Just your new items,
Yes, just the new items, yeah.
yeah. Because Doja she's a current vendor. So she's going to show us the additional items that she wants to put it, go ahead. Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? Take that off the stand and you'll be able to hold it. Just, yeah, pull it. And put it right up to your mouth.
Hi. Actually, I'm already vendor in VillageFest, and then I'm selling bandana and then T-shirts, and every products. Every product on my illustration. So people asking me why don't you show your art? Illustration on VillageFest. So I decided to try to show my illustration at the VillageFest. And I and when I'm making
Can you hold that closer to your mouth?
when I'm making my illustration, I started to hand drawing, and then I turned to like Photoshop and then editing things, and then I turn on to screen printing, and this is just printing and stamp. Oh, sorry. Like stamps, and these
Okay.
back fork stamps. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Anybody has any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So are these painted, or I know you said Photoshop, or are these photos that you're retouching?
These,
Yeah, well, all of them.
all
You
of
mentioned
them.
Photoshop, so I'm just curious, what are you using Photoshop?
How do you make them?
I do hand draw first, and turn to Photoshop and just editing.
I couldn't
Edit
hear her.
So you take images from,
from hand
internet?
drawing.
No.
No.
So on here, what she shows on process art, she sketches it, scans it, and then runs it.
So they're your design?
Yes,
Okay.
scan.
Her design, she
So-
does it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what's right here.
So in
I'm
other
sorry.
words, not painting them, but you're sketching them. Hand
Yeah,
sketching.
sketching.
I
is
think that's
And the stamps, you're also making those by hand? Are you carving out the rubber on the stamp? How are you making the stamp?
No, I just order to rubber, only rubber, and I order this wood,
Yep.
and I cut rubber, and then.
Oh, you actually
I-
cut the rubber for the, okay,
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
And
Thank
then
you.
I
nice.
stamped here.
Very perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I also stamped here too.
May I ask a question?
Go, sure.
What's normally in your booth? What,
These bandanas.
oh,
And
okay.
like, can you see
So
the
she's just adding
illustration?
these.
Everything on,
Got some old,
yeah, everything from my hand drawing.
But how long has she been, how long have you been on the street?
nice, okay.
Yes.
Since the summer?
This
Okay.
summer, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw them
I
before.
remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want it? Yeah. I didn't remember.
Anybody else have any more questions? No. Okay, so we can get into discussion, if any. I need a motion.
Motion to approve this vendor?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, anybody have any more discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
And let's amend that to add this to their booth, correct?
Yes,
Make a-
amend- yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
the-
please do that.
Yeah, so the amendment, the motion's to amend them, to
add-
add this to their booth.
Okay.
But do you want to by chance specify that it's art
Just the
prints
art,
and rubber
yeah.
stamps? That's what you're
Okay,
approving?
specify the art.
Yeah, so we're amending the motion to allow for these additional art pieces and stamp pieces to be added to their booth.
That are made by the vendor, by the way.
Yeah, all made by the vendor, yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. There you go.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Daryl, aren't you going to say?
Well, she's already on the
She's already on the street. She wants to again.
Okay, Maura would be proud.
And she came in, we did talk about you. She was very happy. She's like, oh, good.
Hold on.
Thank you, Doja. Probably see.
I love the fact you have the red belt, too.
Yeah.
Okay, the next runner, I guess this is him, huh?
I love the
Yeah.
hat. I love the hat. That is
Jamie?
great.
Jamie Ferguson? Okay. Just give her a chance to clear everything off of there, and then you can proceed.
Let me see who was next.
We're always hungry.
It's not me, I take it home.
Exactly. Tom's always hungry.
Tom is always hungry.
disgusted.
Oh, he did bring stuff. What did he?
I'm not sure what you're doing.
This is,
Oh, my
What do you think?
Can I ask him an unrelated question?
Yeah.
Okay, him.
No, no.
Oh,
no, no,
okay, wait, all right, that's not okay.
No.
It's not Ristretto anymore, now it's called Ristretto anymore, it's not what we're calling it. Because a couple of weeks ago. Okay. A couple of weeks ago.
we'll pass those around.
Perfect. There was a day where they had like a new barista there, and they were doing free coffee for happy hour and half price all day.
Faye, do we have his
That
file?
was just a couple weeks ago.
Hey, did that old guy ever do anything?
Okay.
Remember that we came to?
Hi, good afternoon.
You get 3 minutes to tell us.
Remember?
No, 5 minutes to tell us about yourself. Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am. Hi, so I'm Jamie Ferguson. I'm with the Red Collar Coffee Company. You may remember Ristretto. We've taken over the Ristretto spot at 500 South Palm Canyon Drive. Ristretto had been in business for 5 years. We just signed a 5-year lease to take over that coffee shop. We started our business on October 1st. As you can see, we're very much focused on branding, trying to build like a lifestyle brand within the coffee segment. We do focus on organic coffee, loose leaf tea, fresh baked pastries, cookies, things of that nature, craft sandwiches, salads, etc. I brought different examples and samples of the things that you would either see at our location and or at the booth at VillageFest. I'm not new necessarily into Palm Springs, but I moved back, I guess, about 18 months ago. But anyways, it's been a passion of mine to create Red Collar. I used to be in the hotel business, and after traveling and never being home, had an opportunity to do something like this. The logo that you see here is actually of the first picture of my puppy that I got in June. Her name is RC for Red Collar. Throughout my whole adult life, as I've had black labs, shepherds, whatnot, they've all had red collars. So there's an emotional connection, and hopefully I've done a good job in tying what we're about from a personal perspective that I think people can relate to.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
So is this a food vendor or?
Or a
Downtown
I
merchant.
was gonna ask the same thing.
Okay, downtown merchant.
Yeah, it says
Lines
it.
think alike?
It does say that,
Yeah.
but according to the rules, they would have to be in the former Business Improvement District area.
Where are they
And that-
located?
Just below Ramon.
Just
at the
south of
corner
Vermont, so
Vermont.
that actually wasn't the Business Improvement District
Is
area.
that the delineating line? Is
Yeah, we're in
It
the
is at
500
Ramon.
building, so the old
So
Allen
they're at
Lab.
500 South, so certainly the baked goods and the coffee and everything are allowed, but what I was asking Jasmine about is, have we ever allowed before a business, a food business, let's say they sell olive oil or whatever, to sell any of their branded merchandise? And I don't know if that's something that you want to consider in the future, but so far that has not been an allowed thing.
So let me ask staff, so they are not considered a downtown merchant, correct?
And we couldn't consider them a
Okay.
downtown merchant.
Okay, that makes a
Because they're
difference,
across the
'cause
street, okay.
So they have to get a booth, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, they're,
No,
No, they just don't get, they're not classified as a downtown merchant.
Which means they have to make everything that they sell because they're gonna be a food vendor.
well, the coffee, they could go into, they could go into farmer's market.
yeah, and the baked
The only
goods.
problem is if, unless they make the cookie, do you make the cookies?
We bake everything in-house.
So you'd be able to take the pastries and the pastries you cook also, bake? Okay.
We do.
Okay, so it's, the question is hats, shirts, and mugs. You would not be able to do,
Even though it's part of
But
their
he makes
branding,
them.
right?
unless
Even
you
though
make
part
them.
of
It's
the
part of
branding.
his branding.
Well,
Yeah, but he doesn't
Yeah, it's not necessarily
okay, let's back up a little. The T-shirt,
Again.
that's out of, but that is out of, that is out of the farmer's
Do you consider
market.
that, you're right, do you consider that, I mean, there's two components to that.
Yeah.
Do you consider it 75% handmade? Because you have to, it has to go back to original VillageFest vendor rules and regulations, completely outside of the downtown merchant category.
Right.
That's one component. And the second component is the idea of different types of products available in one booth. Now, those are both just guidelines that the board has utilized throughout the years. It's not a hard, fast rule. So if this board collectively decides that they want to allow branded items that still fit in but maybe don't mesh as well as coffee and pastries, then that would be up to this board. Again, it's your collective idea of what you want to see out at VillageFest.
And there's no leeway in considering them a downtown merchant?
No.
What is the,
because they're
what is the
outside.
border?
understand.
Ramon, and you are on the other side of it.
You know that white line between you and the
You
other?
want to
And
move?
I'm sorry that you are.
So literally because we're on the south side of Ramon
Yeah.
versus the
Well,
north side of Ramon?
according to the rules and regulations that were approved by the city, it would have to be within that district. And so because it's not, I mean, that's truly, I'm sorry to tell you that.
It's a city district denotation versus a zip code or a street, a building number. It's the downtown district.
So my question would be, can he go in the food court?
Oh, he can go in the farmer's market, absolutely.
So then can he?
He just can't sell his T-shirt.
Wait a minute now. If that's his brand that's going to be on the coffee mugs, and right?
I mean, these are our uniforms. We wear these. And
Well, follow
could
me.
do
we've
that.
only
Follow
been in the
me.
month, it's only been the month of October, we've sold 50 shirts and caps.
So follow me on this.
Sure.
If you're branding your coffee mugs with your brand, then wouldn't the T-shirts and hats kind of all kind of go together?
So again, that particular item is not a hard, fast rule. There's nothing in your rules and regulations that steer you against from that. The precedent that has been previously set by a different board was we do not allow those type of items if they do not fit into the 75% handmade category.
Okay, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so it's not a hard, fast rule. What is hard, fast that we cannot go against is the downtown merchant. Because it's written, the guidelines were written and they're in the rules and regulations.
So with that taken into consideration, it's an artist festival. So our hesitation on having cups and T-shirts would be that would be unfair to other artists that create cups and T-shirts.
Merchandising, yeah.
But he's going to go in the bakery.
No.
He's going to go in the food court.
What would be the problem is then would every olive oil company and every bakery and everybody then
Yeah, why
want to
wouldn't
bring their
they wanna
branded
sell their
merchandise
Brand
in
merchandise.
addition to that? And so once that
It just
door
brought a
is
problem.
opened, that is a problem. But is it something that at the next retreat that the board would like to discuss, allowing that in some fashion? But I just don't really feel that it
I mean,
is
is there a
allowed right
is there
now.
is there a distinguishing factor when you think of Starbucks in regards to what they're doing and what I'm asking to do?
Well,
You
what
know,
is-
one
we-
thing you could do
Starbucks is not a
is,
vendor.
you could sell your mugs
Maybe they
with
should
your
be.
coffee in it.
They could
You
be.
could sell your mug with your coffee in it.
Sure.
So you could do
wrap your
that.
T-shirt around
Yeah.
the coffee mug.
It is the fact
All
that
right,
you
one at a
are,
time, please.
the challenge is that you don't have a machine in the back of the coffee house embroidering the hats and silk screening the shirts.
Yeah.
So you are not physically making those, which then is contrary to the arts and crafts component of VillageFest. The fact that you're making them, and there's nothing wrong with that, is we're in a new area for, which then could impact other food vendors and other coffee shops or baked goods or whatever. Starbucks, you have a very valid point there, but they have a brick and mortar.
Yeah, they're not part of the festival.
Yeah.
Right behind.
Chair
Let me ask
Watson?
you something.
Sure.
Your goal really is to, for your coffee, correct? And
And your
your
baked goods.
pastries, the
To extend the
cookies,
brand, I think.
and, you know, all of that.
Like
that-
when you think of Nike as an example, and I mean, Nike's an experience. Nike, it's not just the tennis shoe. It's not just.
I know, but we have certain rules and regulations.
Oh, no, I appreciate that, but we're a little bit different than
I know.
probably who've
But
presented before.
let me get back to you again on that. I mean, that's basically, I mean, since you are downtown, maybe not a downtown merchant, if you're selling your coffee and your chocolate and the pastries and cookies and soup, you make the soup too?
We do.
Okay, so then they could have that. The biggest issue is the hats, shirts, and mugs.
Can I make a suggestion?
Wait
Yeah,
one second, please. And with that, you know, since you are downtown, let me ask staff, could they show and not
Well, they're
sell?
wearing them.
Or you can tell them that I sell this at my store?
Of
Right.
course.
I was gonna recommend that he could hang a T-shirt, hang a hat and everything, and just put a sign on it that says, for this merchandise, please visit our retail store at 500 South.
And I would recommend that one of the options that you do at the event is that you sell a mug filled with your coffee.
Yeah.
Because that would be allowed as the container of your.
So your price list would have mug with coffee or else disposable mug with
Or
coffee.
just regular, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be one way then that you could sell your mug there. I think that would be acceptable and totally within the rules.
And you can always drop a business card in the, you
Yeah.
know, with everything that you're doing.
Not in the coffee.
The biggest
We want-
challenge here is
Yeah,
that it's
I've
an
made a
artist.
sizable investment in the merchandising.
Yeah.
Really, the main reason why I'm here
Yeah.
is for all this to be tied together. I'm not. I can't fragment
He's not just there.
what we are. And I don't mean to pitch you guys
If I,
in a
if I could
challenging
add something real
spot.
quick to that comment that you just made, the challenge here is that it's an artist festival, and so each artist has created 75% of the goods that they're selling, and so that's where the challenge lies. Is that if you were to screen print this shirt yourself, and you were to screen print those mugs and
I did
stitch everything-
design. I mean, that
Well, it's one thing to
design is
design,
mine,
but then it's
right?
another to do the
But the
screen printing.
manufacturer.
Yeah, so that's where the challenge is, and it's not us, it's the rules set up by the city, so it's a city festival, not,
Right.
it's not a private festival.
wasn't
so-
a
And
hard,
understanding the
fast rule.
cross-branding, if you were not able to sell the apparel and other items, are you saying that this wouldn't work then based on your present model?
Probably not.
Okay.
So I have a
I mean,
thought.
trust me, I'd love to be part of
Yeah.
Village Fest. I've worked
nice
for
to be able to
6
get a cup of
weeks
coffee
trying
together.
to get
Yeah,
all this
what's
talk about it
together.
today.
You know,
So my
unfortunately-
thought would be, can he try it for a little bit to
No.
see if it goes?
It sounds like he doesn't want to do that. Sounds like he wants to.
No,
Yeah.
for the whole, let
No,
him
we
put a
can't-
hat or
we
something in
can't
the
allow it,
background.
though. That's the problem,
That's
we're
what he's
bound by the
saying.
rules.
I thought it wasn't a hard, fast
According
rule.
to Jasmine, it's
Well,
Right.
not a hard and
Merchandise?
fast
Oh, yeah,
rule.
merchandise is hard fast, for sure. What's
Oh,
not,
no, it is.
is,
Oh,
Go ahead.
so if you were a downtown merchant, we wouldn't even have this conversation, but because you're not a downtown merchant, they have to categorize you as a general Village Fest vendor, which means you have to, they have to enforce all the general Village
Sure.
Fest vendor rules. which
I wish I
means
would have known
everything
that
needs
before
to
I
be
signed the lease.
75%
How far away
handmade.
from being a downtown vendor is he?
I'm on the street.
I know, but I mean, like.
Across
It's across the street.
No,
from
No,
the-
I'm on
from
the street. I'm not even
boundary.
across the street. I'm
No, you're
on the
across
street.
Ramon.
I'm on
which is-
Ramon.
This doesn't happen
Right,
that
but-
often.
all right,
It is
yeah.
south of, it's just,
doesn't.
this is
Excuse me.
based on a city
One
council
at a time,
decision.
please.
That's who decided it, and that is how
I
it's
know.
written in the rules. I mean,
So
that
it
unless,
is what it
unless
is.
this
Like the
vendor,
new voting
prospective
district?
vendor wants to go along with it.
If you were to, we actually went through a similar issue recently with the recent elections. We had political candidates who wanted to have information booths, but we had to ensure that they were on the correct side of the street because Palm Canyon runs through 2 districts. So it's literally, the line goes down the middle of the road, and that's where we have
city.
to, no pun intended, we have to stand on that line.
So my question to you is, do you think you're going to sell more T-shirts, or do you think you're going to sell your bakery goods and your coffee? Which one do you think you're going to sell better? I can tell you which one you're going to sell better.
Well, I have to sell 10. I mean, I have to sell an exorbitant amount of each item to make up for one shirt, one
But
cap.
you realize you're not the only T-shirt. If
Yeah.
you were to do
No,
that,
I understand
you're not the only
that.
T-shirt
But that's,
person on
but
that.
that's like, again, asking Nike whether it's the cap or the shoe or
But
the
you're not
racket.
Nike either.
I'm trying to be.
Okay.
No. So wait a minute, my question,
Yeah,
I
go
would
ahead.
tell you to start with is your cookies and your coffee and see what kind of response you get. And then in talking to the people, you can direct them to your store.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
business.
Real quick.
That's
That's-
marketing.
All right, all right.
I know, I'm familiar with marketing.
All right.
Jamie, if I could just help you on
Sure,
this, 'cause
please,
I'm
go
I'm
ahead.
actually, not only do I have a business downtown, I'm also in the festival. I've got a booth there as well.
Sure.
And so I don't have, a lot, I think it's around 3 years on the street. But from my observation, we don't have enough, we have one coffee vendor out there. From my observation, you would do much more, you'd do pretty significant, this is what I've seen, a pretty good business in coffee and cookies, more so than your shirts and your mugs.
Yeah.
Your shirts and your mugs, from my experience, now this is just my experience, your shirts and mugs will sit. Your coffee and your cookies will blow out. The people downtown, especially as we go through up through March, April, they love something warm, and coffee at nighttime, it's just gonna. So when we saw you, we're all like, oh, coffee vendor.
Daryl, could I,
Yeah.
I apologize to interrupt. Could you, ladies and gentlemen, silence or turn off your phones because it does interfere with our electronics and I keep hearing phones ringing. Thanks.
Okay.
Can I?
So anyhow, that's just.
Do you have
Are
one?
you considering selling bulk coffee as well? Like, in other words, a pound of coffee or beans? Because I don't see that on the list, but that's another
Right.
thing that we really
Yes,
sell
and
them
those
at.
are private labeled, which would obviously have our logo on it too.
You'll sell far
But-
more.
I mean,
I know, but I've made
yeah.
thousands of
Yeah.
dollars in investment in the
Right.
merchandise.
And we respect, we understand
So-
that.
Yeah.
But you're still going to sell the merchandise in your store, correct? So it's not like,
We're trying to figure out how to
Sure,
get
but I'm
you
trying to also make the Village
Better
Fest
exposure,
investment
yeah.
a good investment for me
Well,
as well.
Unfortunately, we can't do it the way
And
we can.
So,
it wouldn't, again, like you said, this wouldn't even be a discussion point if I was standing on the other side of Ramon.
would you like to, let me ask this question because we're kind of spinning the
No, I
circle here.
understand.
So, are you interested in vending with a food product only and your other items on display, or would you like to withdraw completely? Because we can amend the application at this level and help you get on the street, or because we're kind of at that
Right.
sticking point.
And just as a secondary option, the board can approve the products that they do feel comfortable with and just leave it up to the vendor to decide if they want to participate.
Yeah.
So we could approve coffee, pastries, coffee in the branded mug.
Okay.
And then
I got
the
you.
Then you can
vendor
make
will
the
decide
decision
whether.
later.
All right.
And
So-
branded
That's the way
bulk
to go.
coffee, which is
In
not on
other
the
words,
application.
after
Chooses
the
not to
fact,
take
if he
the spot,
decides
then-
not
We
to
just
go
take
on
it.
the
That's
street, he
okay.
won't go on the
Gotcha.
street.
Yeah.
But we're going, okay, so I need a motion to accept, go ahead.
Are you going to add the bulk coffee, though, here? Because it's not-
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
All right, so that needs to be added.
Correct.
So you want to make a motion for the
With
bulk
all the
coffee?
items that we can put them on the street. That's the coffee, hot chocolate, pastry, cookies, soup, tea.
bulk
Yep.
coffee.
And
And a
bulk.
coffee
And
mug.
bulk
And the
coffee
mug
and
with
coffee.
Branded
Also
coffee
with
mug with coffee in it.
With coffee in
Okay.
it. So the motion
Got
is motion to approve that, the coffee, hot chocolate, pastries, cookies, soup, tea, and branded mugs with coffee in it, be approved.
And bulk coffee.
And bulk
And bulk
coffee.
coffee.
And would we approve him doing a package of bulk coffee in a T-shirt or bulk coffee in a
No,
hat?
no.
No, okay.
Just consumables.
Okay, I have a first.
So,
I
yeah.
need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
So that's your option. You can
Okay.
show up on the street.
And we hope to see you on the street.
Sure.
I got to
Sure, I
tell-
appreciate
I
it.
have to tell you, and then I'm going to let you go because we got a lot
Sure.
of people waiting.
Yes,
But,
ma'am.
you know, there have been people that just come with cookies. Only cookies. Do you remember the cookies?
We actually have a guy who.
Is he still on the
Yes.
street?
Joy, why
That-
didn't you say yes? Why didn't you say aye? I'm just curious.
She can't vote
I
anymore.
can't
Oh,
vote.
okay.
I'm the Main Street representative.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If I could, I would have voted yes. I'm trying to hold my hands down, so I don't do it anymore. I used to
She's
be on
not
the
used to it.
board, but
Anyway,
now I'm
but my
something else.
point is that, you know, these cookie people, they really sell the cookies. If they're good, they're going to sell. And the other thing, so it's something for you to think
And we even
about.
have people fighting over that.
Yeah.
And you'll be adorable out there with everybody wearing your shirts and everything. I mean, you'll really get that impact, I think. I think.
Not, no, it has to be farmers market.
Well, why didn't we get any?
And at a later time, you can.
No, they're right here.
Really? Okay.
Pass them.
Yeah, now he doesn't want to give us.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
blame
now you
him.
don't get my No cookie for you.
I don't blame him.
I know. I mean, we really
You stir
worked
the
at this,
pot,
we
and
tried.
then you want to know why you don't get to lick your spoon.
Joy, pass those down.
Joy gets no cookie.
You've got a good product, though. You've got a good product, so that's why we're like saying you don't.
Like you see all these days, like on the wrong side of the track. That's-
Well, see, I didn't realize when I saw downtown merchants, I thought it
Pistachio.
was a shoe-in, but,
Yeah.
oh my lord.
Macadamia?
This is not me.
These are amazing.
Oh, jeez, here.
Jamie?
Yes.
I don't know, just take a piece of it.
Next spring.
This is crazy.
Brad, Palm Springs, CA.
These are muffins.
Oh, God.
Well, the back of my shirt is that.
Oh, I've only been looking at the front.
Oh, yeah, no, it's on the back.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
No.
You gotta share it. I know that's hard.
Oh, I am.
All right, the next one up.
This is delicious.
good.
Okay.
These are discount cards.
These are delicious.
No, we
What, are
can't.
those
We can't
muffins?
take- Yeah.
Okay,
Those
next
muffins
person.
are to die for.
Clifton Laundry,
We'll kind of do
Arts and
one side out, one
Crafts,
side in.
excuse me. I just called somebody up.
That's who we're talking to.
Okay, Clifton, you tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Clifton Landry. This is my wife, Christina Landry.
Hi.
Our business is Pretty Little Outlaws Art and Apparel. Kind of got the GIF on the T-shirt thing. But
Yours might be different.
yeah, okay. First and foremost, we're caricature artists. We draw caricatures. My wife is going to draw somebody right now, if that's okay. Just going to pull the seat up right here, kind of give a little
Okay, what's your craft?
bit of a demonstration of what we do.
Avocado
Is
grill.
there a file?
Kind of our couple of our examples of the caricatures that we draw. This is us, of course, and then we draw kids, we draw families, we draw pets. We also do original art, so we're both acrylic painters, and then this is a sample of one of the paintings that my wife painted. It's one of the smaller ones that we have. We do put our art in art prints and T-shirts, so this is an example of one of a painting that we do, and we just put it on T-shirts and prints. I don't know, that's
Where are
pretty
you
much
from,
it.
Clifton?
Originally, we're from Las Vegas. We've been in Seattle for the last 10 years, and we
So
draw.
you live in Seattle right now, and you're going to
No, we live on the road. So
Oh, okay.
we do summers in Washington, and then we travel down south, Las Vegas, Arizona, and we wanted to do Palm Springs this season, so that's why
Okay.
we're here.
All right, is there a booth there, picture of booth?
So you're interested in doing seasonal?
Yes, yes. We wanted to be here till it got hot.
So you roam, you go around, move around?
We do. Well, we actually just do Washington. So we go. There's a tourist town in Washington, some mountain town that we do. And
That's an exciting life.
yeah,
I wish I could
we
do
have
that,
fun.
but
We
that's
love
an
it.
exciting life.
We've
Life's
been
not
doing
over yet,
characters
honey.
about 7 years. We just started traveling 2 years ago.
Where's this group?
We're so glad
He just left.
No, the file.
Oh, probably over there.
It's over here.
So about your T-shirts.
Yes,
Oh, I see
Are you
what
making
she's
your
doing.
T-shirts?
She's
I am
drawing
not.
your-
But
Yeah,
it is
it is our
their
artwork.
They have to be Bella Canvas, that's what everyone uses, right? Are
It
they
is Bella Canvas. Yes,
Right.
sure.
I was just curious.
Will you be doing the drawings like this at the fair?
Yes, yeah, we both draw, so we just set our easels. We have an easel set up, and then we'll have chairs for the guests to sit on, customers to sit in.
Okay.
And then we just hang our original paintings up, and then prints, there's a print rack and T-shirt rack. That's pretty much how we're set up. I don't, you know what, we were gonna start drawing, we were gonna do hand-painted hats, we were gonna start painting on it, but we just hadn't had the time, so, yeah, I want to do, so maybe next time we'll get on that.
So what's the application on the T-shirt? I mean, how does that art work? How does that?
I paint it, it's a painting, I scan it,
Okay.
and then I send it into
Okay.
a printing company.
So that's your artwork?
It is my artwork, yes.
Nice T-shirt.
Thank
Yeah, it
you.
is.
Prints, this is the print, example of the prints?
No, this is actually an original.
That's an original.
You know what,
Okay.
just
So-
pass that one around.
Sure.
You know, I'd like to see them up close.
Wow, this Day of the Dead is so beautiful.
And do you have any samples of the prints?
I don't. I didn't bring any of those.
Pretty good.
But they look like that, just have to print.
Yeah, the prints are on canvas, and also I have them on it's just a backing board and plastic clear bag.
But it's all your artwork?
It's
and-
all
and you
both of our
signed it?
artworks. And yes, we sign the prints and we limit them.
Okay.
Yeah, take these down here.
I would make a motion, we accept.
Anybody have any more questions first?
Well, she's
All right, let me have a motion so we can get into discussion, if any.
Who has a second?
Any discussion? None?
Great
No?
artwork.
All those in
Thank you.
favor? Aye.
Great,
Opposed,
great work.
none?
Thank
We'll
you.
see you on the
Go.
street.
There you go.
All right.
And here we have a live,
This would be a great addition.
Thank you.
They'll love that.
We're
on the
excited.
street. There you
right? I always used to love
wow.
those things.
go. Okay, the next one,
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mary?
yeah, I'm not even going to try the last name. I don't want to crucify it, Mary. Arts and crafts.
Lanson.
Chuklansa, yeah.
You can take that off, Mary, yeah. take
Oh,
that
it's
off.
okay. Hello, everybody.
You can take it off.
If it's,
There you go. Hold
the
it to your
name is
mouth.
mine, you called, but this work, that's my husband, of course. He had it as a hobby since school. He loves working with wood. It never was enough time, of course, raising the family, work and everything. And 4 years ago, we retired and moved to Hot Springs. We love it in here. We enjoy the fest. We absolutely love it. Never expected in wildest dreams that we're gonna apply for vending. To become vendors here. He started working, doing different stuff just for kids and grandkids and.
Can you pass some of that around?
Yes, absolutely.
Coming this way.
He started making it for kids and grandkids, and we have a lot of family. And our kids actually started telling us, why don't you open the internet store? And we said, no, internet, this is not our cup of coffee and not our cup of tea. But we told them that we have Farm Fest here and we can do it. So they encouraged us, and this is what he makes.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, this little booth over there, it's not finished yet. This little booth that we have, that was an inspiration in Las Vegas. I think in Venetian, there's a store where everything, all clothing was made from wood.
Working on it.
So he tried this, and this is we brought to show how it works. So he this is very fragile, so he glued them together, and then he glued every layer, and it becomes like this.
Wow.
And that's how he makes all these balls.
Wow.
Yeah, he
That
glued.
is so cool. I've never seen that before.
The ballerina?
Here's the boot. Boot's going that way, that's
Oh
going
my
that way.
God, it's like
Yeah.
Christmas morning over here.
So these.
There we go, this is what we're.
So these.
I know.
He bought a book. We cannot draw. I'm sorry. We're not artists, but he gets it from the patterns from the book, and he makes these. And the most important, he absolutely enjoys it. He makes frames too. He found the molding, and he makes frames
Beautiful,
too.
it's beautiful work.
So I think yes, we have pictures how he makes it, and this is, let me show you.
That opens?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's-
is so unique. I
That's
love that.
great.
Absolutely love that.
And it collapses then?
Yes, it collapses.
That's why I thought the other one was.
Anybody have any questions of this perspective?
Not at all.
No questions? Okay, I need a motion.
I move we accept this vendor.
I second.
Oh, thank you so much.
Not done
Wait,
yet.
we're not done yet. Almost,
So-
we're almost there. Any discussion?
Well, it's not my stuff. I would recommend that he brings some of the pieces that are
Showing
separate.
how he does it.
Showing how he does it, yeah.
To your booth.
So as you're showing us these items, what's interesting for the consumer, for the customer on the street, will be able to see those pieces and then see the final
Finished
work.
product.
Yeah, they would love that. That'll be a
Yeah,
big.
do that.
that'll be-
People will
it's
love
really
it.
big. People will love it.
Okay,
I would never thought about
Yep.
there you go.
Show the work in progress. So yeah,
Okay.
it's beautiful.
Any more? No? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None?
Thank you. We'll see you on the street.
Thank you.
Love it. Oh.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Joshua Tree Candle?
Yeah.
All right, the next one is Ryan McGowan,
Nope,
Joshua Tree Candle.
nope.
No?
Lamar?
Not here?
Joshua Tree is not here?
Not, no.
Okay, Downtown Merchant, Lamar Boutique. Okay, just give him a minute.
Oh, that's for us? Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For your booth.
Oh, yeah, these two.
And your
Yeah,
bowl.
And your boot. Decorate.
All right, you'll be next.
Yeah, that's going to do well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, guys, how are you?
Good.
Wait, so Joshua Tree
It's not here.
isn't here?
You were too busy voting.
So honestly, I just kind of grabbed a few items from the store,
She is a downtown merchant.
I know.
I'll verify.
While you're doing that, I have a question for staff. How many downtown merchants do we have?
I can't answer that right now.
Okay.
Faith and I did have a conversation this morning about providing a breakdown, because we do have quite a few downtown merchants, and they are still applying. So we will provide you with a breakdown of what vendors we have and what categories they fit into at your next board meeting.
I think that's something we should take a look at in terms of maybe limiting at some point.
Well, moratorium or something. But the other question I have for staff is, I can't remember way back when we decided, when downtown merchants, how many of the things in their store they can actually bring out? Is there,
Can we get her to the folder?
It just
I
basically.
mean, you were on longer than me, so.
Yeah, it just, and actually, this was before I was on. I think my husband was on when this all happened, actually. So it's more than 6 years ago that they started to allow downtown merchants. I already forgot your question, though.
How much
percentage
of
of
their
the store?
merchandise?
Oh, they could just bring out whatever is representative of the store. So the idea is, like, if she has a clothing store, then she's not going to bring out record albums or, so.
Things they don't sell.
And it
Yeah.
has to be things that they actually sell in their store as well.
Yeah, the type of things, though. I mean, it might not be like that exact hat, for example. It might just be she sells
Hats in general.
So like there was someone that came with a pop-up. We couldn't allow them with a pop-up.
What do you mean?
There was a person who owned a store and they had a vendor that wanted to sell
Oh,
their
yeah, no.
merchandise. Yeah.
That wouldn't.
Yeah.
So my question is, why do merchants want to really be on the street when they get the
'Cause you don't.
people that go by?
You really get more. I mean, I was a vendor actually for 4 years myself, way a long time ago, like 20 years ago. And you just get more action on the
action.
More
street
action.
than you do in the store.
And you direct them to your store, and, it's
And it
it's
helps
great for
market
business.
your store
Yep.
and,
And I think the vendors like it too because of the festivities that downtown has,
well, they're open.
they're
more.
open and it's kind of, they're a part of it, so I think that's.
Well, that
one
was
of
the
important, yeah.
reason, was because we couldn't be a part of it before.
In a prior issue with a different merchant, we talked about that the rule was that it has to be items that they actually sell in their store, not necessarily the type.
Right.
The items they sell in their store. So saying it's the same type, I am going to challenge you on
Yeah,
that because I have
Well,
an issue with that.
Okay.
Because
Sorry, I'm
why
gonna
would
just
they,
look up your
because
rules.
then it's a
Yeah.
second store, it's a secondary.
If they're a
business.
merchant and they go to LA or wherever they go to buy, if they buy hats, the next time they go, it's not going to be the same hat.
No, not the same hat, but they have to also sell it in their store. It can't be something that they don't sell in their store.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
That's
like we
correct.
were
Okay.
just
Yep.
saying, hats,
Alright.
they can, with belts, jewelry.
Is there anything
I
there?
understand, but that's not what Joy said.
Oh, okay.
Just to be clear.
So is there anything there that you don't sell in your store?
No, this is
Okay,
all,
perfect.
like, fun items. So that's the main reason why I'm here, because I took over that lease in February.
Nice.
It was Paper Dolls Boutique. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
there for a really long time.
Yes.
And so she used to be a downtown merchant vendor. And
In the court.
I've noticed that the fluctuation of traffic on Thursday nights did slow down. And so I want to push that back in. And so mainly what I would love to showcase is like the fun, unique items that we sell there. We get lots of compliments from consumers when they come in, like, oh my gosh, you guys have such neat, fun, unique items, unlike any other of the stores on the street. So that's kind of what I want to cater out in the booth. Also, if we have the festival season coming up, I want to make sure that they know they can come in to look for accessories, like these little fun items. They light up, so they're just kind of neat. It worked really well for like Halloween as well, or festival season. And I've actually taken a stroll down VillageFest a few times and noticed that nobody had anything like this. So it was almost even more of an encouragement to try to get out there and market myself. Nobody knows I'm there yet. Everybody that does come in is because they knew paper dolls. So now that we have a little bit of a different merchandise, I'd love to get some more local clients in there as well.
So one of the things we talked about in the past was racks. How are you going to display your clothing?
So I have one particular rack. Gosh, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a rectangle, and I can put. That's where I display my tank tops. Actually, you know what? It's not in those photos. So I would definitely have like a normal rack, like in that photo, a table with different levels to place all the accessories.
We can't have rolling racks.
Okay. Okay, I've seen them before.
Some people have been pre-approved or grandfathered in.
Okay.
But I can tell you from experience, watching racks roll down Palm Canyon, that it's almost more trouble than it's worth, especially if the wind picks up and then they're full and suddenly your merchandise is going away.
Sure. Yeah, we don't want that.
Unless you have locks on the bottom of it.
Yeah, the wheels lock. My experience is that usually the booth is right out front of the store. I don't know if that's something I have to set up. I'd have to set up with you guys.
It's not an option.
Okay, I just remember what Nancy, the previous gal, she had it right in front. So
Well, if it's still available, they might be able to offer that. I think more with the racks, though, was more about the look of the racks more than the locking of the racks.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to
It
have
is.
those out there, it was.
And keep in mind, the street is not a level surface.
right, absolutely.
So are
What is
we allowing racks or not?
I don't think, yeah, I don't
They
think we
don't.
do
Well,
either way.
What you could do, instead of bringing all your clothing out, because your objective is to be on the street to get to know the store,
Right.
correct? So, a lot of the little things that you can put out on a table, and maybe a couple pieces of clothing draped on something, and then, because then you can tell them where you can really go and buy the rest of the clothes.
Yes, and that was my experience in the past with
And
with
hanging
Nancy.
like the wraps like you're wearing on a chilly fall evening in the desert, that's an easy sell. Yeah,
Right,
without the
so
rack.
I'm going to cater it to what's going on in the season, the weather.
Hang it on.
Now, the one thing that is listed on your application, because it does stipulate that we have to approve what you're going to sell, shoes is fairly vague and clothing is fairly vague.
Shoes, I just kind of put in there just in case I wanted to try. It would be more of a display, like these shoes are available in the store type of deal. I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah.
Birkenstock does
It's,
that.
yeah, it's just, it's.
I mean,
but it's what's in their
essentially, it's
store.
kind
So
of-
shoes are in the
Yeah.
store and
Right.
clothes
Yeah.
are in the store, so.
My concern was how the quantity of shoes you'd have to have in a booth to make it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
No,
it
the
would
objective
mainly
is for her to get them back to your
kind of how
store.
I have maybe 3 hats of the same one in the store, but I wouldn't take all 3 out. I would just take it out there to say, yeah, you can take it right off here. If you need another, there's more inside.
Okay. And so your store is going to be open also?
Absolutely.
Okay, anybody else have any more questions? Okay, need a motion to get into discussion.
I move that we accept this merchant as a vendor on the Village Fest.
I second.
I second, okay, great.
Any discussion?
No, I think it's great.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you,
No. There
guys.
go.
Good luck.
I'm excited.
Just getting ready.
Okay, great.
I'm not excited for the
Don't
coffee.
mind it.
See you on the street. No, I was stopping you from voting.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that.
Some kind of wire or?
Husband said I could keep voting, it just doesn't
I
count.
don't know, you know, I haven't walked the street in a while.
People do
I
hang
don't know.
things in the back of their booth like that.
So,
I mean,
so
From the
before
frame.
you leave, an option might be to think about maybe some wire or string that you could.
Or hang from the frame.
Like,
Like, does she have a booth? Is my question. I haven't seen a booth yet. Where's the package?
it was there.
Is there a booth?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
There's a lot of those out there already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of.
Yeah, walk the street and see how most of the other people are doing it, yeah. Okay.
and yeah, like these little guys here, you know, fall, start
Yeah.
to get chilly. so
Perfect.
let's-
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Okay, the next one up is Ave David and Ernesto Salazar.
Salazar, he's not here.
No? That's you?
I'm Avi David, yeah, my husband is not here.
He said
Okay.
Ernesto's not here.
So he's
But
on
you-
He's
David.
not present.
But you can come up. Okay. What is your first name?
Avi.
Ave, okay.
Avi is on.
Okay. Got it. Ave David.
No, hers. For her shoulder.
Oh my goodness, what did he bring?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah.
Well, you gonna look online?
I did.
Yeah.
What?
So it must be a refrigerator. That he's
You saw the refrigerator?
He was hungry.
He's hungry, what? Taking that in
That
with my
I got.
husband.
It was the fact you brought a refrigerator that was throwing me. It was-
I had a piece of cheese all day.
Like a magnet, steel magnet
Yeah.
frame.
Didn't have to be an actual refrigerator.
So do you carry that everywhere
Yeah,
you go?
we're gonna give you credit on this one.
Actual refrigerator.
Yeah, you're committed to this.
I have a question, am I the version of the Shark of Palm Springs?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
Oh, no.
What's that?
Oh, is this a Shark Tank?
Yeah. Okay.
There
Okay.
we go.
You could have ripped just the door
Watch the
off.
video? If you watch the video, you know what it is.
Avi, you gotta take the microphone.
I am in.
Give the poor guy a minute.
How are you, everybody?
Hello.
Great.
Good afternoon. I'm Avi David. I'm originally born and raised in Israel. And I moved to the United States when I was 13 on my bar mitzvah. And that's it. I've been in Palm Desert for 6 years. I don't know how I survive here, but I'm doing it.
Desert to desert.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. So me and my partner, we started doing a business as magnets, as a photo booth. So every time someone's come to take a picture, we print the picture under a magnet and you can put it on your fridge. So during the years, we love kids. I have 15 nephews and nieces. We are a big family. So then I just saw all these paints on the fridge of so many people. You know, when the kids coming back from school, they give you the arts. So what do? You take the arts. I'm just going to move the box for a second. And every mom knows how a refrigerator looks like when they're coming back from school. So this is the arts, and then we came up with an idea. It says, okay, how we can take all these arts and keep them in one box, one memory, so the kids can actually get in out of the iPhones and iPads and screens and do something art with their parents every day. When they're coming back from school, I wish my mom and my dad will keep my arts when I was little. So then we came up with an idea that says, okay, let's create something that can help us. So this is DecoCrate. It's a new company. We've been in the market for a few months. We sell it online. It's all handmade, kinda, all handmade. We're doing it from scratch. It's already been patented. It's for kids. So when they're coming back from school, that's what happened. So I put this one on the fridge, and I'm taking the art, and I put it right into the box. Okay? So when the next day they come in, we're doing the same thing. We're taking another art, and we just push it inside and keeps it. And the frame comes white, so the kids can decorate the frame by themselves. It comes with Velcros, so. 1 second. So you can see it. So that's the frame. Right now the frames comes in this design, but right now we're building frames as cars, things for boys, things for girls, you know, every type of frames. So the frames can be decorated by how the kids want to. If you can put stickers on it, if you want to do like paints or whatever it is, you can put his name. And every time that you finish with a box, it can hold up to 60 pages. So when you finish with this, you just take in the frame off and you can get a new box. And then it keeps all the memories inside.
How much are those?
They run for $14.99.
And I didn't look at it.
Yeah, $14.99, and I'm gonna pass some for you guys so you can see them. Ernesto did the designs. I'm just gonna move it to you guys so you can see them.
So just to be clear,
Yes.
it comes undecorated?
Yes,
And
it
the
comes
truck-
white, so you can
okay.
decorate it with the kids.
And it comes with that frame and one box?
Yes,
And
yes.
how do they buy second boxes?
They can buy it from us
Online?
on the street if they want, or they can order it online.
Okay.
You know, I think you're missing your point. I think you need to be on Shark Tank. I think this could be an item for Shark Tank.
As long as you recognize VillageFest.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cute
All right,
for
so the
somebody's
box
kids,
is,
you know,
um,
because
You
everything.
know, it can even fit a small
Yeah.
Box is handmade.
Yeah, the box is
Yeah.
handmade. Everything is handmade. Okay. There's 3 parts for the box. There is the frame. There is the box itself. In the back, you have the magnets, and you have 2 holes so you can put it on the wall if you don't want to put it on your fridge. And this is our pan, and inside is the deco press. So this is the one who pushed the pages every time, and it shows as a frame. I've been looking at the VillageFest for a long time. Unfortunately, there's nothing for kids.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of families with kids going there, and we want to be helping not just, you know, for the people who lives here. We want to help a lot for the parents and kids to get them out of their screens, out of their phones and tablets, and you know, doing something together with the parents, something that's not happening in those days, unfortunately.
Okay,
You know,
are
I'd
you
like
going to
to.
show them different, like
Yes.
this is different than just painting
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
And can you also show us how it's packaged?
How it's packaged?
Packaged.
I don't have it here, but I think I have it in the pictures.
It's right here.
Yeah, I think so. There is a box inside. When we close it, we put a sticker on it,
So
and
you
it
know
comes
where
with a bag.
I'd like to see you sell or work with is the school system.
Yes.
Maybe also the children that are. Special ed.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Special ed children. This would be fantastic. For you could go far with this.
Yes, we know we're
Good.
waiting for that.
You're waiting for them.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any more questions?
Fabulous.
Yeah, it is. It's very unusual.
Thank you, guys.
I need a motion
Simple.
to get into,
I move we accept this vendor.
Second.
any discussion? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved. There
See
go.
you on the street.
Very different creative.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It means a lot to us, and yeah, it's a start of a new journey. I left my job to do this, to focus on that. So I appreciate it for the opportunity, and I promise not to let you down, guys. And I will
bringing-
always remember all of you guys.
Bringing the refrigerator was above and beyond. I mean,
Good luck to you.
I just look big. I just filled in the right places. It's not that heavy.
Okay.
Mazel tov.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
right.
much, guys.
There you go.
Happy holidays, by the way.
Okay, the next let's let the refrigerator
let
leave.
him.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Welcome patience.
Thank you,
Such a
Ave.
simple process, but such a clever idea.
Yeah, it is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I think you need to go on Shark Tank.
There you go.
And tell them you were found at the street fair in Palm Springs.
Nobody wants to deal with barbacoa.
And
I
then
think Charlie
Charlie
loves
asked.
I'd get one my child. If I'm a young child, I'd buy it.
Okay,
Thank you for the
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. It means a lot.
The next one down
Good
is
luck.
Ron Agresti, Arts and Crafts. Was-
I'm Jason. Nice to meet you guys. I'm
Oh.
here with Rob.
We'll need the microphone because we're,
Yeah.
we're on the air.
Getting everything.
Hold on this one.
So what we do is we have a company called Northwest Straps, and I didn't realize I could have brought tubs and tubs full of stuff and showed, but what I wanted to bring was one of our primary items and what we deal in. And we'd had some problems getting the photos downloaded. Faith was having trouble, so we brought a couple of different photos there that we could pass around and kind of show. Basically, let me see what this one here is. Has me making everything. So what we use, is what they call T90 bonded polyester. So when everything comes, it comes white. And we do everything else from there. And so we make everything from leashes, collars. We really have a new concept that we're doing, build-a-belt. And so we go in, what we try to do is make it fun and interactive so that they can come in and participate. And we have just lots and lots of different prints. And so everything from sunflowers to, palm trees to anything that you want. And then we go ahead and just make it into a belt, or we have lanyards and key fobs. And I'll pass that around so that you can kind of see it. And just a variety of different products there.
So this is painted on?
No, it's actually dye sublimation. And so it's scratch resistant, fade resistant, wear resistant. You can pull it right off. You can throw it right in the washing machine. It's something that just lasts a really long time. And everything, like I said, it started white and now it's that.
So you won't be printing them in the booth, right? You're going to bring the designs already
We
there?
will be bringing the designs, the rolls that you see.
I see.
And
I got it.
I'll pass
Never
this
mind.
around.
I apologize.
If it starts going dark, if you could just tap on it. And so that there.
Brilliant.
That there being a display, it shows all the different webbings and stuff there that we can do. It's almost limitless. We can put pictures on it. We can take custom orders. So if you have a whole bunch of pictures from a trip that you've taken, you can send them to us, and then we'll go ahead and put all your family on it and everything, and we can make something. If they wanted a purse strap. And everything there, so.
I have a question. How do you make this?
That there, what it is it comes, the webbing material comes white.
It's the canvas.
Did it, here, I'll step around, if you don't mind.
Sorry, yeah. Pass this down. I was going to slide it down, sorry about that.
I think they eat too many cookies before
Yeah.
they come.
I'll start
Yeah,
here.
this is the noisy area over here.
So-
We're all
Oh, don't.
So
That
basically,
is-
and you
area.
can-
Sorry.
And you can see on that there, and you can pass it around, if it starts to goes dim, just tap
Yeah,
the
I
front
wanna
of the
see
screen.
that.
And
Can you press this, please?
And so that's a front shot of all the rolls of the webbing that are hanging up there. And so, like I said, if someone comes around and they want something like the different belt, we can make it right there.
So
And
the stock is white, the
the-
belt part is white.
It is.
And then the process that you do is somehow.
It is. You can
getting
see the machine that I'm working on there, and I'm holding the webbing up.
How do you get the color onto it?
It's basically, we use
think everybody saw it.
everything is a non-toxic, water-based dye. And so it's a process that's called sublimation, and we turn a liquid into a vapor and eject it in at a certain temperature. And
So
it's a-
one of my big questions is that according to the website, you guys are based in Oregon.
We are based in Oregon, but also in Indian Wells, that have a home here, home
Okay.
base,
But your manufacturing is where?
in Oregon.
And how do you come across doing this kind of pattern? I mean, how are you-
Basically, I do like the last few nights. If I was sitting here in Indian Wells, I would be on the computer doing the design. I can do it remotely. There's no place that needs to be, but I would just use a certain program. They have different programs out there, and then I would build it from scratch.
So
I
let
would,
me just get this. So you go on the program and you say, I want to make a braided leather belt?
Yeah,
And then what happens from there?
I take and reduce it from 80 DPI and bump it up to 300 DPI to a printing level, and then I have to put it on a piece of print. It's what they call Epson paper, and then you have to sandwich this in between that and tissue paper and press it. And then after it is, so all of the designs that you see, everything has been created from scratch. Nothing has been bought. It's just kind of, and that's the novelty of it is we are very unique. There's nothing.
But you're not sketching them, right? These are actually downloadable photos, or it's in the program?
Actually, we're building them dot by dot.
Okay.
So
So it's
that's-
original, this is your art, you're saying?
This is our art.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
100%.
nothing that
That's
you
what the question-
will have, say you're on the street, nothing that you have will be purchased or bought?
Absolutely
Okay.
not. No.
How many people do you have working for you?
It kind of varies, 6 to 10, 15, depending on the
I
time
mean,
of the year.
who's-
Because I do like
Yeah.
ratchet tie downs, I do different stuff like that, and so sometimes we'll get
I
full
have a problem
quarters.
with that.
That is one of my concerns in our arts and crafts, because it sounds like while it's a fun product, it sounds like it's very much factory oriented or very industrially focused
Well, on
versus
this-
you
on-
painting each one
Yeah,
of
on
these.
this side of it, there is not. There's, you asked as far as how many employees
Right.
and stuff back there. On this, it's just a couple of us. It really is myself, Ron, and basically one other person. And so all of the stuff that would be done potentially on site, that's the part is it's all interactive. And it's something that.
It kind of reminds me of that woman that we had. She made, you remember, she hooked herself up to everything on her belt, and she was here a few weeks ago.
The cool thing is like, if kids come by, we have 1 inch, we have all the different belt buckles, so they get to come in, they get to stop and say, okay, yeah, this is the belt buckle I want. They want something with
Right.
ice creams and unicorns and rainbows and stuff on it, and then we help the kids build the belt. And that's the novelty of it is we have all of the pictures, all of the stuff that is there, are some stuff that we've designed.
So you actually make the belt right then and there?
Right then and there. That's the whole process, is like this belt here. And we're also in, this last weekend, we were over in College of the Desert. And so it was really nice because we had so many people come by, and I got a bunch of emails Monday morning about how much they loved their belt, and they came by and got their prints, and it was really cool.
How long does it take you to make a belt?
Just a few minutes. We take, I have the front piece here, and I'll measure them, of course, and then I'll crimp on the front piece. And then the back piece here, what makes it so nice is because you can just pull it off, throw that right in the washer machine, and then there's, then you can just snap it back on. And so,
So the belt in your booth is white?
no, the
booth is
prints.
those rolls, the prints.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
do-
he says
I
he
do-
builds it for
Right.
people.
Well, I
factory.
build it as far as, we measure them, they're interactive with them. They get to pick which tip they want on it, they get to pick which belt buckle they want on it.
Oh, but you don't, but not the
And then I
print.
pulled it, I've already pre-printed most
Oh.
of it, unless they want to custom it right there.
I did, I saw
And
it.
if they want to custom it there in the booth, then we'll help them design it,
No, but I
and
thought
then give it to them.
Yeah, the guidelines are 75%
Right.
for arts and crafts, so that's where this is getting that's why we're questioning it so intently, that this is somewhat of a factory made and then customized unless it's a custom order. So,
Well, the reason you asked, and when you asked about the employees and stuff, is I have one guy in shipping. I have one guy over here. So as far as the people who are making this product, and there's a lot of other products that we do that aren't in here that we're selling, that's the reason. It's a small mom and pop. We're a very family-owned company, and if you do talk about the 75%, I believe we well outweigh that because everything comes and we have to build everything from scratch. We have to sew it all. It all has to be done. And so, like I said, even to take and build every picture, every frame from start to finish, it's not something that you just go and pick a picture and download it and everything there. It's a very labor-intensive process, and it's very hands-on.
Okay, so you just said that you sew it, but when you were describing making that, there's no seams in it, you said.
And that would be like the key fob here. I put the custom hardware on the front of it, so it's just simple and you make
But that's
it right
not
there.
sewn.
But on the dog leashes and the collars and stuff like that, that would be one thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. So on the dog collars and the leashes and stuff like that, those there would be sewn.
All right, I want to get into discussion because I think we need discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me have a motion so we can get there.
Okay.
I move we accept this vendor.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
So I got a question for the group here. So this appears to be like the white material is the canvas, and then I think the challenge that we're having here is that the art itself is made by him, but then it's printed on by him using a machine. So we've got the art as original art, but then it's printed using a machine.
I think the problem we have is that it's a factory operation.
Yeah,
And it's not a
that's my
handcraft,
problem. Yeah.
as this
From
is a
Oregon.
handcraft artisan
I mean, it may
fair.
have started out that way.
Well, and I think it would be no different
this is
than a
between
screen. I'm sorry.
the board, thank you. I feel the same way, it's kind of mass-produced.
Are you selling to stores or to anyone else?
Well, let's get the
I
shipping.
do not have any of the belts and the stuff like that in retail stores. This was something that this side of it was designed to come down to and this is the first time it's been debuted. And the very first weekend was over at the College of the Desert.
And are you selling on
So,
the internet then?
At this point, I'm building the website. So this stuff is not listed on the website. And so as far as being mass produced and stuff like that, it is not.
So if I can qualify the question for you, the reason we're asking that is because you mentioned you have shipping. You have someone working there in shipping. What are you shipping to whom? How does it get ordered to ship?
Well, it would be some of the other products that we offer and stuff like that. We do make custom webbing for other clients that have places that they retail and stuff like that. So they would call and.
I want somebody else, who else has some opinion on this? Do you have
Well,
any?
my concern here is just because the rules are that it's an artist fair and such. So in creating the art, it's one thing to create the art, but then applying it, that's where the question comes up.
Exactly, it's not a flea market. Yep.
Yeah. So it's not that the art's being painted on, that the art is being screened on or sublimated, sublimation process. So that's where the gray area is.
Well, if I could, I think that it wouldn't be any different than screen printed shirts. Somebody's going back to their business or they're doing, and they're having their employees screen print a bunch of shirts. They're coming out to the show, and they all are artists. They all are stuff there.
Okay, I want to hear from some more. Joy, do you have anything you want to share?
Well, it appears to be a pretty good-sized operation in Oregon, and the website seems very well built out with a lot of products on it. So
there is an operational website.
It is. It's being changed.
Definitely an
it's being changed
operational
right now.
website
So-
with many products on it. And I mean, for me, the problem is these are being made in Oregon. They're not being made by the person that's probably going to be at the booth. I
Correct.
mean, I don't know that for a fact. Maybe the person might be that person, but it doesn't really seem that way.
Well, and I was going to be the one.
Let her know. No.
And so the applicant, though, Mr. Agresti, so is he going to be at the booth, or you're going to be at the booth? Are you? Oh, you're here.
We were both, and he lives in
Uh-huh.
Indian Wells, so it is, and we were both at the booth all day, Saturday and Sunday, at the College of the Desert.
And let me just tell you that the College of the Desert is different. This is an art festival, and that they sell everything
Right.
and anything, so
And-
it's different.
And I.
This is
after
more
having a look in there,
artsy-fartsy.
I did, and I just thought that it really would, because it caters to the art, and if you saw the picture of that, the display, it's really.
Okay, anybody else
I don't
have more
see how it
discussion? Should we take a vote? All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry,
Okay. Thank you, guys.
you're welcome.
Good luck to you.
Okay. Oh, another
Tasty
farmer's
vegan in the
market.
audience?
Good. Tasty vegan?
Is there a tasty
Oh,
vegan
you have
in the
dinner
audience?
tonight.
Khalif Bay. Bay?
Vegan, vegan?
No, her name is Khalif.
I don't know.
Khalifa Bay.
Khalifa, beautiful name. Khalifa, is that how you?
Flea market.
Okay. I'll give you a time. Oh, she's got little bags, guys.
So there are 2 different flavors, but this is what I did. The original flavor is this one. My exclusive premium black caramel is this one. However, there are testers of each, so we'll be.
And wait a minute, what's in these bags? Is it
Caramel.
I know, but wait. I know, but it's her product. We can't accept that.
Okay, yeah, we can only sample tastings,
We can
not
only,
whole
we
jars.
can only,
Oh, it's this one. This is the taster.
oh, okay, we can take
We can
this
take
out.
this, but the other we can't.
Thank you, but we, no, we can't.
Under state code.
Yeah.
To taste?
Yeah, we can taste it.
The taste we
Yeah,
do.
we just can't keep the jar.
Yeah.
All right,
No
I got
dinner
that
tonight
one.
for you.
So take that out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so there are tasters in there, and
She'll set them
Here's your
around.
jar back.
idea.
Yeah.
You can keep the card
I don't
though,
want
right?
it.
Yes, oh yeah. You just can't keep actual merchandise, that's all.
Oh, that's all right, we got.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
These were sample jars.
I took it out of there, so, yeah.
They're sample jars, but it's sample jars, yes. They're sample jars. These are not my regular jars. My regular jars
Oh,
are
well,
all different shapes
well.
and everything.
If that's
they
not
large?
your regular jars, okay, bring them around again.
There you go.
I'm not using the hexagon.
All right.
I'm using the round. You'll be able to see that on the website.
Okay.
So they're different, that's a different flavor?
One is black caramel, and the other one, this is regular caramel, and what you have is black caramel. What is it that actually makes it black?
I'm sorry?
What is it that actually makes the caramel black? Ah.
Oh my God, that's so good.
It's vegan.
I love vegan food.
Vegan.
Everyone's making fun
Your
of it.
boyfriend's vegan. Your
No,
husband.
he's pescatarian.
Oh, pescatarian.
Which is even more specific.
I know.
Which is more of a pain in the ass.
Okay, why don't you tell us about yourself while we're eating?
Oh, please.
Hold this close to your.
Okay. I'm a little nervous. I'm usually
No,
I'm
don't
a
be nervous.
behind the
We're-
scenes person, so to be standing in
It's just
front
us
of
and
you all
you
is
now. Look at
kind
that.
of.
There's
I
no other
know.
audience. That's perfect.
Okay. My name is Khalifa Bey. First of all, thank you for having me. This is a 3-year run here. I've been saying for 3 years, I'm going to do the fair, I'm going to do the fair, and I just had not manifested it yet, but here I am. So I appreciate this opportunity to present. I've been an animal activist for many years, and as an animal activist, I chose to, because I'm a foodie, I decided, I think that people should learn the way to have an alternative to their favorite foods. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I started Your Tasty Vegan, and I would go to a lot of the events in Los Angeles and present alternative ways. I go to churches and schools to, share with people what they can buy and how they can make their favorite foods cruelty-free, without judgment. And along the way, a lot of people really love my recipes. John Sally, in particular, loves the caramel. He and his daughter said, "That's your winner." So that became my focus. I have other products, but I want to focus on one do really well with it, and then introduce more. I have a vegan line of dog food. I'm also a rescuer. I have a nonprofit. It is not involved in this, but I rescue animals. It is my desire and goal to have a ranch. And that's what Your Tasty Vegan is. It is for me to make money, to get their ranch, and
I want you to be my best friend.
I want to be your best friend. Thank you. I want to rescue all species of animals, so I need acres, and I know that I'm going to need cash flow. So Your Tasty Vegan truly is going to be it, and I do see that happening. I believe it, and this is my start.
Where are you from?
I spent, I'm a little bi-coastal, but not really. I have property in New York, but I'm not there. I was born and raised in California, but because my mother is a New Yorker, we always went back and forth. I spent the last 16 years there as a journalist, and I worked in politics behind the scenes, was a communications director on a few presidential campaigns, so that's behind me. I've got 3 grandkids now. So I'm finally doing what I desire, and it's everything for animals. It's all about the animals for me. So Your Tasty Vegan is an alternative to eating the standard American diet. Most people love tasty stuff that's sweet and yummy and makes them feel good, so I started with the caramel, and I'm glad that you all had the opportunity to taste it. And that's all I'll be selling. Oh, and caramel apples. I will have those on the table as well.
Tis the season.
Tis the season.
So it's going to be the sauce and apples, is that it?
Yes. So, yes. So I chose not to call it sauce because there is this is why. Because I saw a sauce. There is a date sauce at the Oasis Date Farm. So I said, okay. So this is just caramel.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't want to infringe on her idea. A lot of people either think it's a syrup or a sauce, so just caramel.
Yeah.
Just so that I don't step on toes.
locally?
I live in Desert Hot Springs,
Okay,
yes.
great.
How long have you lived there?
I've lived in Desert Hot Springs since 2015. 2015, yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question for staff.
Yes.
Since it's farmer's market, does she have to show a video or something of her making it? No, okay, I didn't think so, that's why I didn't, okay. Anybody else have any questions? Because that is good stuff.
It is.
I
I'm
too
so
have
glad.
a lot of rescues, and I think it's really important to brand this out to the celebrity industry
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
your sponsorships
Yes.
for a ranch.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
Nothing.
All good? We're looking forward to you on the street?
Oh,
All
thank
those
you.
in favor?
Thank you so much.
There you go,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Khalifa.
Yeah, there
And what
you
you're
go.
doing is wonderful.
It is
Oh,
wonderful.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you guys got it.
There you go.
We love a good animal rights person, don't we?
I have 14 chihuahuas.
Do you really?
Okay.
And 3
Gosh,
cats.
That's not bad. 5 o'clock,
And 3
that's not too bad.
cats.
Yeah.
And fish and birds.
You're not going to be paid.
All right, we're at unfinished business.
No.
On a VillageFest poster contest. Any reports on that?
So the Thursday before Halloween, I went down by myself, and I went alone down the street to all the artists with no one else. So I did go to various art vendors with no one else, except somebody who came with me because they were kind. And I solicited a lot of art vendors to come and to submit something based on, and it reminded them that it would give them visibility and whatnot. I did talk to another vendor this weekend that I talked to, and apparently the paper trail didn't quite go. So I think one of the things I'm going to do is Thursday night, I'm going to go early, probably by myself, alone, and touch base and encourage people because the deadline's so close.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your alone business downtown.
You're so low
I'd like to get an Oscar for him, please.
All right, new business, none. Reports and requests. Public? Nope, nobody. Board? Anybody, board members with reports and requests?
Just want to again thank Faith and Jasmine for setting up such a
Absolutely.
beautiful booth and Halloween. The kids loved it.
And
They loved it.
And the one thing on that note that I really want to, just so it's a matter of record, I had one father come up with his kids specifically to say, thank you for doing this, because it gave them an opportunity to enjoy Halloween rather than taking their kids down a dark, strange street, knocking on strange doors. Here they felt that they could enjoy, relax, and they too could have some fun. And it was actually good for me to hear that, because it threw it all into immediate perspective, not having kids. But I want to make sure that is noted, and you guys do get the kudos for doing all that and giving people an
They worked
option.
really hard at it. And then in the evening, Halloween on Arenas was one of the most fabulous years ever with the costumes. There were like 200 or more costumes that were incredible.
Wow.
So it traveled all the way through, which was really nice.
And Evelyn Champagne King singing.
And Evelyn was there, and
And quite
Keisha's not,
amazing.
Keisha's not well right now. She was supposed to perform, but she's,
And the numbers
prayers go
al-
out to her.
The numbers alone, we gave out, Will and I handed out 500 gift bags, and then I can't even tell you how much candy.
An hour and 15 minutes, you were going with the bags, 500 bags were gone.
It's just bags.
Did the lady with the cotton
was great.
candy come?
No, because she did the arenas one.
No, she didn't.
Oh, she didn't? Oh.
She wasn't there.
Can you tell that Halloween is Faith's favorite holiday?
Yeah, it is.
I'll join you on that.
All year round?
Fun, it's a fun day.
I have one comment to make
It
this
needs to be
unrelated.
a weekend. It needs to be, yeah, definitely.
Anybody else have a board comment?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
I found it quite uncomfortable to have to explain to that gentleman that because he's across the street on Ramon and he's on South Palm Canyon in the heart of downtown, I would like to make a suggestion that we look into reviewing that guideline, because it doesn't make sense in light of the fact that they're building all the way down Palm Canyon, they're putting a whole new community down there, there's more businesses going in. It just doesn't make sense to me that we would have that as a delineator at all. And I get that it was already before, but, I don't think rules are made to be broken. I think more so when they become obsolete, we need to address them, and that's all. I'd just like to suggest that, and I don't know.
City council.
Yeah, it would have to be a city council change. I mean, I don't,
It has nothing
I
to
don't
do with
care
us.
one way or the other. It's just the
Oh, no, I'm
the
not
way
saying
that
that.
it's written.
I just,
Well,
I just think we need to challenge it, because I think it's.
That's a good thing for you to go before city council.
Well, as a board, couldn't we write them or put it in an email to them?
Absolutely.
I think anybody that's a merchant, not saying, tire companies and anybody
sorry, it's
that,
not
but I'm just saying,
agendized
anybody that has
this
a
discussion.
store. I
In
think there sh-
Palm Springs proper.
I think that you should have this as a study session item at the next meeting, but I don't actually think that we could have discussion about it to that extent here without
Okay.
having it agendized. But I think it's a good idea, and I was uncomfortable with it too.
Me too.
Super uncomfortable about
Yes,
it.
I didn't realize what
But
it
I mean,
was.
I don't know what those borders should be or would be, and so that's a whole discussion that you might want to have, and then bring it to a personal discussion with council members. I mean, not really go to council to say it like in public comments, because
Yeah,
there must be.
I don't think it's for that. I don't think it's for
Yeah.
going before the council. I think it's more something that we need to address in writing and ask the question, what would be
Exactly.
the process for asking about possibly extending that or possibly changing it or solidifying it, either way.
I mean, that's a question. I could walk you through the process of
Yeah.
that. But what you need to do is you need to have some sort of either committee meeting or place it on the agenda so that you can have a group discussion in regards to it, make a formal recommendation, and then we write a staff report that says, from the VillageFest board, we'd like to change this particular rule, that you have to come up with what you believe those lines
Yes.
are. Or is it the entire city of Palm Springs? When it was originally created, it was created to the merchants that were impacted by Village Fest, by the closure, detours of
Understood.
traffic, anything of that nature. And that was what they decided it was the original bid district, was the merchants that were impacted the most by Village Fest.
Can we put this on the agenda then? Because it seems like you have a lot of knowledge about it, so I'd love for you to be part of the conversation, and you as well, Joy. So.
Yeah.
And if we
Okay,
could
great.
get those numbers, since we've looked it up now, that it's 10%, so we got to see where we stand.
So we'll place it as an agendized item at your next board meeting.
I would also like to add as an agenda item, looking at how many merchants are on the street. How many booths are occupied by merchants?
Yeah, I think you just asked that. Yeah.
You mean as in the downtown merchants?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't want to fill up with people who have a store, right in front of their.
Yeah, I would like a whole breakdown, not just which downtown or how many downtown merchants have booths, but that doesn't mean anything without perspective of, if there's 40 of them and we know there's 400 booths, then we know that's 10%, and then we know that other categories exceed 20% or under 5. You know what I mean? I think kind of makes sense to look at the whole mix.
Yeah, there used to be a
Not to give you that
percentage.
busy work.
I don't know if it was in the last rules, there was a percentage only that it could be, or.
10%.
It says 10%.
Oh, you just said that.
So
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
question I have, is
I
this
got it.
something that we should do after the holidays, since you guys have a lot to do between Thanksgiving and
Yeah, I don't
Christmas
think
and
it's
the
urgent.
parade and
Exactly.
everything? So I think
No,
after the
it's
holidays,
somewhere
that would
down
be
the road.
good.
I just think it's something we need to address eventually.
Right, exactly. And I just wanted to also say that Pride was incredible this year, closing off of all of Palm Canyon.
What's the biggest
And having
ever saw?
277 floats there too.
Oh, my God.
Was incredible.
It was
And thank you,
beyond.
Jasmine.
And thank you girls again for that.
Right?
Veterans Day too yesterday.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't
and
get
by
out
the
of
way,
bed.
about Pride, there was a stage right in front of the Hyatt. They were so rude at the Hyatt. There was someone I know who is a comedian, was performing, or, at like 2:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. I went to watch it. We literally couldn't hear her speak where I was this far from the stage because the Hyatt decided at that moment they were going to blast crazy DJ music outside for no reason. There was like 12 people out there and would not calm it down, and they didn't stop until after the show stopped. And I thought that was extremely rude. Because this is an artist who's performing.
Yeah, and the Hyatt works really closely with Pride on programming, so that's very odd.
And I brought it up, and someone said, well, they are one of the sponsors, and that's probably why we don't want to upset them. And I was like, well, there's rules of human behavior that we should all follow. It was really.
If that were true.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I said should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From your mouth to God.
But anyway,
from your
But thank
it
you for
was
that
great. It
feedback.
was amazing, the whole, everything.
But just to have it all on Palm Canyon the way it should be, where everybody enjoyed. They didn't get lost. They
Yeah.
walked. They drank. They had a great time.
The vendors did well, I'm sure.
Okay,
Some vendors
subcommittee
gave them free
reports, compliance, do we have anything? Nothing?
No, when I was walking by myself down the street for the art, I did notice a lot of violations, but we just tabled it, and I will come back. and
I
look
would
at that
agree.
closer.
Last time I walked, I was looking for licenses.
Oh, that's one of the.
I couldn't find any licenses for many, many vendors. They don't display them.
You mean the permits?
The permits.
Yeah, there's
The
some that are
permits.
trying hard and some that just,
Well, it's been an ongoing
Yeah.
issue, and they have been notified, staff has notified them.
I mean, we've even had some write-ups.
okay, then,
Yeah,
And I think one of the others too is the importance of having the downtown merchant sign there so that other people understand why this booth could have shoes.
Yeah.
And you can't have shoes or something like that.
You know-
I think that it's misunderstood by maybe even the other vendors that aren't aware of it. And then they think, oh, I could put this out too. And I just think it's important to clarify
you know,
that.
Joy, that you mentioned that, because a lot of people stop me and they'll go, there's stuff on that street that's not
Yeah.
accepted. I said, yeah, I know, but they're probably downtown
Yeah.
merchants. So I think of
Yeah.
anybody putting a sign up for downtown, I think the downtown merchants really should do that.
Well, Faith
Because,
has ones that are made.
Yeah, they have
They're
it.
nice
Yeah.
ones that are
That
made.
stand up. You guys have yours up.
oh,
So-
good.
So just like that other permit,
Yeah.
that definitely should be up in any of the merchant
Because people are
booths.
looking at that, they're going down, well,
Yeah.
this isn't 75,
Uh-huh.
because I've Heard a lot.
I get phone calls all day, trust me.
Is
Yeah, I
there
know.
a flyer of rules that we could possibly, put on bright red paper or pink paper and literally go booth to booth to booth and basically give them notice
idea,
that
Daryl.
as of January, but
They're
put
gonna be
on
sick
there
of the
in bold
notices.
somehow, as of January 1st, there will be no exceptions.
Maybe even have them sign it.
Or what? Or what?
Or they could be
What
suspended.
are we
They could be
about to
suspended.
do? Well, but that's our business too, so we got to be careful what we wish for, right? Right,
But if we
okay.
have laws we don't enforce.
I know, but
But the thing is, we're trying to protect, because I know on Thursday nights when I'm down there with my tin badge, that Faith is sick of me texting her of who's not playing by the numbers, and then she's, rollerblading from one end to the other.
yeah.
That was not exactly the language she used when she described it.
Okay. The next,
You hit like some nice thighs. Yeah, you're
the
right.
next thing is the food court. Who's on that? Dan? The one that never shows
Daryl.
at Montanti? Did you go to the food court? See, she didn't go with you.
Oh, you were
Well,
by
she's
yourself
gone with
too?
me
No,
Alone?
I dragged him.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, the boys went.
All right, so give us your
Do you want
report.
to bring up what you discussed with me the other day about the
Go for it.
PowerPoint?
Go for it.
That's your idea, though.
What? Okay.
About the steps that you're taking as far, next steps.
Well, first of all, we were waiting on finding out, there was a couple of food vendors that were coming back, and we weren't sure if those spots were vacant or not. Are we full now in the food court? Yes. Okay, so we're definitely full. So there's no recruiting or anything like that. But we thought about doing theme nights of like, so, for the food, maybe like, do like a Thanksgiving theme maybe next week and say on Thursday night that to all the vendors, notify them in advance and do something, pumpkin or something, like do something that's seasonal possibly. We also talked about featuring some of the food vendors one at a time, like on the website as well, saying come and taste it. Am I missing something? If you're looking at me funny. Go
But
ahead.
what I liked that you discussed with me was that you wanted to provide some more structure to the discussions, putting it into a PowerPoint
yeah.
presentation for us to be able to have a record of the discussions and be able to take action on.
Well, I
on
think it's more about the recommendations, yeah.
Yeah, make recommendations and in turn take any actions.
Yeah, so if we're going to make recommendations, basically, the way you do in a business, which is, here's the current situation.
Create your strategy.
Yeah, here is our recommendation, and here's what the benefits are of doing it, and this is what you don't get if you don't do it. And
In regards to what though?
for any suggestions that we make about making changes, additions, enhancements to the food court.
And putting it on the website.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one of them, putting on the website is one of
Okay.
them,
Have we had any luck reaching out to sustainability?
I had a in-person conversation, but I need to write a formal request.
But real quick, getting back to what, so I commend Daniel in wanting to do this, because then it provides us with a discussion about what the ideas are and what we can and cannot do, and pretty much a roadmap of where we want to go. And without formalizing that information, we would just continue to circle around. So he's got a really good idea by again formalizing the information. Yeah.
Okay. Main Street.
Daryl, what was the great idea you and I had when we met today? Because I do not forget. Remember what it was?
I totally
It was
forgot.
so
It was great.
good,
Wait,
though.
what's funny though,
We
it
were
was-
going, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm going to take credit for that." It was a really
forgot what
good
it was.
idea, and we were brainstorming about Village Fest.
To make a motion
No,
for
but-
younger people with memory on the board.
No, but I mean, it was
Joy
so
outside.
good. And that's where we were
Did one
on
of you
it.
bring cookies? Did one of you bring
I don't know
So we were
who
talking about
these
coffee.
Very good
Cliff
corner
Young.
hell for you, Daryl.
There's Cliff
Oh, I've
Young was
already
there
got
with
my
his
booth
Coachella
set up.
Valley coffee, and he
Yeah,
was saying
yeah.
that he wanted to apply.
Yeah.
And do you like as we walk through the
Oh,
conversation?
we gotta go back
You
over what it
spent
was.
way
I
too
don't
much
know.
time with Joy outside.
She
I
walks
walk
by my
past that
store.
store every
She walks
day.
by my store, so it's like, can't help it.
I don't remember what it was.
You don't remember?
In hand or out, not in hand.
I'll write it
Do
down
you
for
have
next
anything
time.
else of
Text
wisdom?
me and I'll take credit.
No, I did want to bring up the other things about the signage. So it was something I was going to talk about Main Street. Just, that the merchants need to have their signs up so that it's
Yeah.
understood. And
helpful.
just everything seems to be going really good. We're going to be bringing back the Businesses Open Late Thursday program, which is mostly signage in the window, just that lets people know that the merchants are open too. So it's called Bolt. And the O has a lightning bolt through it. That was the logo we used to use for it. Yeah.
Great.
So business is open late Thursday, BOLT. And, just so that we could get, a little bit of movement off of the street and into the stores and vice versa. So just to make that more of a partnership.
Good. Staff report.
Staff just wanted to mention that the 26th of November is the week of Thanksgiving, and that should be our fourth meeting of our second meeting of the month.
Well, we won't be here.
So I just wanted to know if you all wanted to hold that meeting or if we wanted to postpone it.
Postpone it.
Sometimes, people go
What
out
do
of
you
town
think,
and we don't have enough
Too
people,
too
so
close to the holiday.
just want to.
So what
Yeah.
date was that, the 11th?
It's the 26th.
26.
Yeah.
And the Thanksgiving is the 28th, so it'll be 2 days before.
So are we going to move it to another week, or
No,
will we
just
just
gonna
only
skip
have
it.
one for that month?
Just, yeah.
Is that what you recommend?
This one.
This month, I mean.
What are
yeah.
what's your
Well, that month.
applications look like? You have, what do you
They're
think?
on the slower.
Okay.
It tends to slow down, especially around the holidays, so we just
People
want to make sure we
traveling.
communicate that to the vendors that are
Yeah.
coming in, that we won't see them until the first meeting in December.
Yeah.
See you.
Christmas is right around the corner.
Oh, don't tell me.
Jasmine, are you going to mention this letter?
Oh, yes. So you all received a letter that Chair Watson had put together. I wanted everyone to take an opportunity to review it. If you have any changes, you can hand it back to me with those changes. What we'd like to do, if you don't, please, we're going to have everybody sign it, and then we'll hand it out to the vendors. It's obviously just in regards to conduct, vendor conduct, and appropriate ways to address staff, and that's staff as whole. Faith and I are city staff, as well as, our police officers, our downtown maintenance workers, our street workers, all the people who actually make VillageFest happen every week, and they work very hard out there, so we want to make sure that they're all being respected in the work that they do.
Was this regarding that outburst
typo.
that occurred here?
Exactly.
Good.
There's a
And
typo.
the other thing I asked staff if they could do, because I know they've been quiet in the past when it applies to them on the street, and I asked them to keep a track of anybody on the street, vendor, whatever, that does anything to staff, any member of staff, or anybody else that they know of. And this way, we'll have a record of who they are, and we'll have to decide, okay, what do we do after one or two, and that'll be a board situation, but they've agreed that they'll do that.
For sure.
Great, I think that's important.
Okay? Anything
Yeah, I'm
else?
fine.
I'm fine.
People
Yeah,
just
I'm
need to
fine
learn
with it.
respect these days.
Well, wait till the
There's a
final.
typo here. There's a comma and then a capital P, please, if
Yeah,
it
just
matter.
write it
Okay.
and
Fix
hand it
it.
back to
That's
us.
why
We'll
we're
get it
sending them
adjusted.
out.
Do we want to say what the action will be from, take
because
immediate
we-
action from suspension to expulsion?
Whatever you want, write it down
Okay.
and send it back, but we do.
Got it.
Yeah, whether you want to put it in the letter or not, yeah, it's up to, everybody, whether, that just was kind of a format.
Maybe you could even tell them to refer to the rules and regulations on the website, which clearly state all of that.
Yeah.
And, they should be aware of that. I mean, it's a shame that we have to tell people to follow rules of not
Like
verbally
adults.
assaulting our
Exactly.
staff members.
Well, we would have never
people.
really realized it if that gentleman had not come to us.
I have
So,
a question. Can we not
enjoy
do
being
like
out in
college
the,
have-
there you go, girl.
has
My
a
girl.
commercial. Can we do something on TV that's a commercial for Village Fest that shows people that that Village Fest is out there on Thursday nights? Because college has one, on the air. So I wonder what that would charge. What that would
If we
cost.
could, I'm sorry. If we put some costs together, we can evaluate whether it's something we could put in the
I
budget.
think that moves a lot.
Okay.
A lot of the news stations on a Thursday will always mention Village Fest that night.
They mention it, but to actually see booths.
Oh, well,
and
that's-
to see
yeah.
people and to see the
That's
a
street
real
busy,
commercial.
a real
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah.
Yeah,
Commercial.
like they do in Palm Desert.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
And was,
right.
that happened years ago. They used to have a commercial, right?
I think we did a long time ago.
It was done before my time.
Yeah, before my time, too.
People talk about it. That was really helpful.
Well, they always, like college, I can remember College of the Desert wanting to go there because I saw the commercial.
Right.
Do we have any significant, on that note, significant anniversaries?
Wow, haven't you gotten helpful all of a sudden?
At your service. I'll tell you something, we're going to get good reviews from
Yeah.
TV because this is becoming a comedy show.
It's a reality show. Do you have any big anniversaries or anything coming up that we could do
It isn't as
try and get
funny.
the media there to do some live shots?
We do.
'Cause that's
we
free.
don't do large anniversaries, but we do send out press releases anytime we do special events. So we'll have Santa at Village Fest in a couple weeks. So we'll have a press release that goes out regarding that.
We give cupcakes out during the.
In March, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
29. So
I'm just
yeah.
thinking of free video time, airtime.
Yeah, anytime we do any sort of special events, the city's communication director will send out a press release. And
So if all the
A large
boards
majority
showed
of the
up to
time.
do something together, hand out candy or flyers, it would make a press event?
probably.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. If I could,
or you
write
were
it out so it sounds
Something
exciting.
hideous happened that day. I mean,
Yeah,
right?
it's true, it's comparable.
When was Village Fest established? How long ago? And then-
71?
27 years ago? 28, it'll be 28.
It'll be 29.
That'll be
Oh, it'll be
29
29, that's
in
right, it
2020.
is.
I was in Village Fest 28 years ago.
Wow.
What were
So-
you selling?
I
To
was
your
when,
right
what's her name,
Yeah,
Elaine
we need
was
to build
the head of
30.
that. I was selling
30.
oils
Yeah.
that were not made from
Yeah,
it.
next year.
They didn't have those rules then.
Elaine made the rules back
Alright.
then.
So let's make the 30.
It's because of her that they made the rules, right?
Can we agree to make the 30th anniversary a target for that, and we can start to prepare in advance for that, and so we can notify the press and everything else, and maybe we turn it into something?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This last sentence, back to, the Village Fest Board is willing and ready to take immediate action. Idle threat. It needs to say something. Maybe the Village Fest Board will address the form. No, I'm just asking what everyone thinks. I mean, we'll have 8 different sentences.
Everybody write down what they want to
Fine,
put.
fine,
and
whatever.
then they'll
It's
do
a
a
fake.
final, they'll do a final, and then,
Not a test.
Okay.
yeah, everybody write, and then turn it over to Jasmine and
And
we'll
then
just-
fling it.
Yeah,
Her phone.
anyway,
Paper cut to the
is there any,
Bald people will show up.
wait a minute. Yeah, let's adjourn.
goodness.
All right, I move for adjournment,
Second.
adjournment.
So second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
5:16.